What's going on, guys? How we doing out there? How was the weekend? We made it back to another Monday. Yay. There's the Monday enthusiasm. Yay. What's going on? What are you guys up to? How are things? Mostly work for me, of course. Big shock, I know. Did actually get in a little Oculus Quest time. That was fun. I'm starting to get really hooked on that. I even just purchased, should be arriving any minute now, the little cable that allows you to connect the Quest to the PC. So I should be getting some little fun action off of that hopefully pretty soon. Yeah, really starting to enjoy that thing, and I'm might actually make something for it not too far in the distant future. A little side thing, but get to that later on. But the big news is I did actually submit Triple Troubles to Steam, the playtest version, like I talked about. So finally got that going. I have to set up a page. It's kind of a strange thing because I don't understand the logic of this, but maybe I'm just missing something. But apparently you have to set up like a whole new page, even though I believe the playtest will not be a different page. It'll actually be embedded in the main Triple page, but you still have to sort of like create a whole new page, right, with the same graphics and everything, pretty much. And you have to get that reviewed first before you can actually get the game reviewed and processed. My boob, what up, buddy? Welcome back, man. How you doing? Did you have a fun weekend, or you just kind of hang out? You buying stuff yet? Hypothetically buying stuff yet? Got any good tips? So yeah, I was just explaining that I did actually start the process for submitting the playtest version of the game to Steam. So it's a two-step process. I got to get the page verified first, and once that happens, then I can actually submit the game. Oh, you have? Good man. Good man. Okay, let me know how that's going. Let me know, how you're doing with that, and if you're honestly doing well, let me know. But so yeah, game is in the process of getting approved by Steam. So the playtest version, hopefully very soon. Excuse me, I'll have that out, and you guys can start playing the full version. But it was not the way I wanted to, but it still works. Oh, that's cool. Okay. You'll have to clarify that, but I'm not sure. How did you want to do it versus how the way you are doing it? You have to clarify that. So I'm actually animating. Hey, how's that for a shock? Had to do a bunch of other stuff, but I finally started getting back to this. So here we go. Have the yep, there you go. Yeah, I just started getting into this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with him, obviously. I'll just do one at a time. So I'm going to start with him. I'm not going to bother with lip sync, at least in the beginning. So right now I'm just trying to rough this stuff out. As well as the eye blinks, which I forgot. Actually, I don't know why I did this. I had to go back and look at my previous animation since it was so long ago. And what I would have thought I would have done was hooked up this. Oh, there you go. Nice start. There you go. You're 1 for 1 today. I would have set this up for scale, right? To do control over the eye, but I didn't. So I looked back, and what I was doing was physically grabbing the eye joints and just modifying those on scale. I'm not sure why I did that, but I'm scared that there's a reason why I did do that. So now I'm just gonna kind of follow suit. So what I was doing is bringing up the joint. Here you go. So for example. Here, I grab the eye joint, which you're never supposed to animate the joints specifically. This is, bad form, but yeah, it's just me, so who cares? But yeah, you can see here, I'm animating the eye blink right there, right? Just boom, real quick. That kind of ties into when she's talking to him. So it draws his attention, right? You see, I kind of, yeah, it's working, exactly, So I let her start speaking before he focuses his attention on her. And then he's going to go into the whole terrific thing. So I'm going to come back and deal with the eyes and the lip sync later. Where I prefer my style is just to animate the body first, come back, and then do lip sync and adjust the body if need be. So not not necessarily the right way, not necessarily the wrong way, just mine. So let's go ahead and turn the joints back off. And let's bring this back over. All right.
Last piece of equipment is now on board, sir.
All right, so now we're doing the terrific, right? And you can see here's my keys right in here. So I'm having to do a big bounce, go terrific like that. And then I have him come back down for the final part of terrific. So, and this first part, he's not going to do much with the rest of his body because I want to get more into it when he says good riddance to that whole planet. So I'm going to do a much more active kind of motion of his body for that, but at least for the introductory part, because he looks so comfortable, right? He just kicked back. You can see he's got the foot kick in there, right? This is a guy that definitely believes in relaxing on the job. So he's going to terrific. All right, so then I'm going to start right here. That's 4 frames. So normally I space this out. I'm doing 30 frames a second. So depending on the action, I'll do like 3 or 4 frames space. Unless it's something like here where it's just the cycle, right? You can see bigger gaps in here. But now that I'm getting into more performance, you can see that the space here is like just 3 frames different. And this one I'm going to try 4 frames. And then I kind of slide that along the way to get the timing right. He probably goes sleep mid-flight. Yeah. I'm not sleeping. I'm resting my eyes. My dad always used to say that when I'd call him out. It's like, you're resting your eyes, but you're also practicing your snoring. So, yeah. There you go. All right. So, boom. And then I'm going to bring it back down. And what I'm going to do, rather than just have it do like pop up and down, what I'll see if I could do is kind of make a little variation to it, so it's not just a ping pong move. So add, see how that looks.
Terrific.
Yeah, it's not bad. Maybe a little more on the Y here, and what I'm gonna do is compress my start, get that closer, so I don't have that much of lead time. So the tricky thing about animation, at least in the early days when I first started animating, I always would freak out because I'd look at this and I would go, oh man, this animation looks like crap. Look at that. It's so jerky and stuck. And it's because there's only one piece moving, right? And the thing you have to sort of look past is just accept the fact that it's not going to look right from the get-go. And you have to not focus on that because otherwise you'll like endlessly change the performance in the middle. That's not the issue. The issue is that the rest of the body's not doing anything yet, right? So you have to trust that once you add all the secondary stuff to all the other body parts, that it will look not like crap. When do you freelance animation? Do you use Maya? I do. Right now I'm using Maya LT, like I talked about before. My license at home is for Maya LT, but generally the companies that I work for, they all use Maya these days. And then, so even though I was working remotely from home, I actually have like a little remote box, which is kind of cool. The box, all it has is a network connection, a HDMI, and USB to plug in your keyboard and mouse, right? And that actually communicates to a computer that is literally 250 miles away from me in LA, right? And is streaming. Like it's one thing to sit there and say you have a VPN kind of thing, right, where you can see the screen, right? That's no big deal. But this is sort of interesting because it has to perform in real time, right? I mean, there has to be like no lag. So I'm animating on a machine. I'm using Maya on a computer 250 miles away. And when I first did it, once again, you can go back and look at some of the I don't remember where it was, but if you look on the YouTube channel, some of the postings I did there, a year and a half ago, I was sort of the guinea pig. I was the first person to take a remote box home and try and animate from home. And back then, they didn't really have the internet set up as nicely because then the internet was shared with all the employees that were using the Wi-Fi. So I was trying to animate, and then the cursor sometimes would go like this, right? Lucini, what's going on, man? Welcome. Good to see you, man. Doing well. So basically, you were using FBI MI5 equipment. um, yeah, I don't think it was that sophisticated, but it was kind of fun that I got to be sort of the, and then I mean, like I said, I have it, for recorded. I was talking about when I was doing it before, right? And then sometimes I would get notes and I have to stop the stream and go address notes. But I was using a remote box back then, and now the entire company basically is using remote boxes. So, yay me, I got to be the pioneer on that one. And they've boosted it. So what I did, what was that, a year and a half ago? Oh, God. No, I guess that was like 2 years ago that I was finishing that up by this time. Playing some cards with friends. Oh, that's awesome, man. Friends, what are that? No, I'm just kidding. That's cool, man. Just like regular card games or like something special, like a Magic the Gathering kind of card game, or just like I was close. Okay, Hearthstone, got it. Yeah, see, I'm old, so when you say card game to me, it's kind of like, oh sweet man, you playing poker? What what are you playing? It's like, oh no, never mind, shut up. Different generation. But yeah, so that's it's at this day and age, it's all Maya for me. I've never played with 3D Studio Max. That's the one platform I haven't really touched at all. I used XSI before Autodesk tossed it in the trash, which sucks because it was actually a nice piece of software. Tried Magic though. Didn't want to get into it because of money. Makes sense. We also play regular card games from time to time via tabletop and stream. Oh, Steam, that's awesome, man. That's a cool way to do it, for sure.
On board, sir.
Terrific.
All right. So I'm actually animating today, Nishini. You can actually see that I was catch you up. I was telling my boob earlier. So I did submit Triple Troubles to Steam, the playtest version. Excuse me. So, Ricky. Turtle. I know, man. It's been a while. I took a break for a while. I went back to work. I went off and did some freelance work to earn some cash and did that for a nice chunk. And so I'm back. And more like the only way to do it, my friends live on the other side of the country. Oh, there you go. That makes sense. But just for Ricky, since you just showed up. So Triple Troubles, I've submitted to Steam under the playtest banner. And right now I'm going through the review process. So hopefully just in a matter of a couple of days, it gets the thumbs up and you guys will actually be able to play the full game in its current form. Totally free, cost you nothing. As long as the game is in development, you guys can keep playing it. And give it a try, give feedback, all that kind of fun stuff. But in the meantime, I'm trying to finish up the animated cutscenes. So I will have an actual done game, not just a game in progress. So, what have you guys been up to? Lucini's playing cards. My boob is getting virtually rich and on investment. And Ricky, how long has Triple Trouble been in development? Oh God, dude, you're gonna depress me on this one. Excuse me. It's 2 years. At this point, it's been 2 years. If you go back and look at, I can look it up on YouTube, I guess, and figure out the exact date. But the prototype was about 2 years ago, and I was just finishing up, like I was just talking about, the animation work on the Netflix Santa Clarita Diet Show, right? I just finished animating Mr. Ball Legs for episode 3. I got that out, and then I went back to work full-time on the Triple game. We also started playing The Escapists 2, and we just tried to find out who has watched more movies between me and two friends. I won round 1. Yeah. I watch a lot of movies. I tend to not finish a lot of them. I get real picky in my movie choices, I guess, because I have a finite amount of time because, well, as I've said before, I'm my own boss, and my boss is an asshole, so I work too much. So I don't watch as much, and I don't play as much games as I want to. But that's funny. So you won that. Yeah, I tend to break them up now. I mean, I'll like I did that today. I was actually I guess it was a TV show on Netflix, but I watched like the first 30 minutes of it at lunch and then went right back to work again. Rarely drop movies, TV shows. I used to rarely drop, but nowadays I drop them as fast as I can when they show the cliche stuff where I know it's gonna be crap. Yeah, I'm the same way too. Excuse me. I was much more patient and tolerant when I was younger, but yeah, I have so many shows where like one episode in and I'm out. Let's get one thing straight. Poker with Bob potential sequel, but this time not using sexy poker algorithm. um, okay. What do I need to do a Poker with Bob sequel? Using a sexy poker algorithm. Do you mean like have a sexy character or something?
On board, sir.
You have to clarify that. I would love to do. I mean, I had a lot of fun making Poker with Bob a decade ago when I first started doing this. The and I do have a good idea for that. Poker with Bob's Burgers. There you go. Get him on the phone. Hey, let's make that happen. But and I did have an idea for like a whole kind of like multi-game casino kind of concept, but to be honest, man, there's just really not a market for it, right? It's just the amount of work and effort it goes into making that, even if the game does really well. I mean, Bob's been out for literally a decade, and it still sells like a couple copies here and there, right? I mean, it allows me to upsize my value meal at McDonald's, I guess. That's about as much as it does for me these days. But that it still puts me in the list of most successful poker casino games, right? So I mean, that tells you how little competition there is, right? And how few titles they generally sell, right? I remember you said you use a sexy poker game. Oh, got it. Very good memory. Yeah, that's true. I was using I don't even know if those still exist now because they were all flash based, so they're probably all nuked. But yeah, they were like, I hate to say it, but yeah, they were strip poker, with the females. And, it's funny because, my wife or girlfriend at the time, who is now my wife, but yeah, she'd walk in and she'd see me playing, poker with a half naked woman on the screen, and she didn't bat an eye because she knew it was homework.
On board, sir.
Yeah. I would like to, but at this point, my future is already pretty much set up, right? I mean, I'm going to finish this game, and then the next one is just research. It's just research, Well, she does the same thing, though. I mean, I walk downstairs, and she's got naked dudes on the screen, right? And then she's sketching them, right? She's a fantastic artist, right? So she's drawing naked guys, so at least I hope she's just practicing. So I think we got pretty much covered on both ends, right? I see it on the screen. It's kind of like she's like looking at all these pictures, and then it's like, wait, if you're sketching, where's your pad? She's like, oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I'll go get that. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so I'm sketching with my mind. I'm mentally sketching like crazy. Get myself in trouble here. So anyways, what I was saying is just the fact that as much as I would love to do another like casino type game or something like that, probably not in the foreseeable future, just because of the next game, which is already on the block, which getting closer to getting ready to tell you guys about it. And once that happens, that's going to be a ton of work, so I'm going to be like buried in that for a while. Nice, good catch. And then so here I want to go terrific. I think I want to space you know what, I might as well do this now. Oh, that might be too much. Yeah, that's gonna be extreme. Let's see, how's that looking here? Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, so then what I'm gonna do here is kind of let the fingers flay out a bit, like so, to really emphasize the terrific point. And let's see if we can get a good pose going here. Actually, I'm not going to bend the inner part. The outer part, I'm going to push that further. Really sell it. So the tip, I'm going to bend more like that. And then the thumb, I'll shoot that outward as well. Alright, I want to get a separation here. See if I can actually get like that. Maybe get this one out a little bit like that, like so. Grab something to eat quick. I'll be here, man, for at least another 40 minutes. Oh yeah, Ricky, so that's the new thing. So I'm doing this, I'm back, right? This is a couple weeks in now, right? What I'm doing is I'm back to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I'm just doing it for like an hour, right? So this is more or less just sort of like letting you guys see what the progress is and just giving a chance to say, hey, what's up, right? Talk with you guys for a little while, and then I just hunker down and go right back at it again. So, and just tell you guys the good news, right? That I'm getting close to getting the game in its current form out there for you guys, and really close, right? I mean, you know, you see what you see here with the cutscenes. I get those knocked out, right? What did I say? I got the cutscenes. I need to implement the leaderboards, and then, you know, once we get everything finalized, this is a glitch. I don't know if you can see that, but it shows like the right on the edge there. It shows like the little box with the text. Maya kind of freaks out sometimes, and that annoys me. The only way to really fix that is to like shut the software down and restart it, but I'm not going to bother. In our stream, is it because there is a possible Master Disguise sequel in making? Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so if you guys ever heard of Cameo, my wife turned me onto this. She's got a relative that's gotten a couple of cameos. Cameo is this program that allows you to buy a greeting from a celebrity, right? I should say air quotes, because they actually have some real celebrities in there. And then if you pay them, and then it varies on the celebrity, right? Some celebrities are really inexpensive. Some are just insanely expensive, right? But if you pay them, they'll actually make like a little like phone video, right? Where they'll just say, hey, so-and-so said you're having a birthday, and I heard, and they told me you're a big fan of mine, so here you go. I'm here to say hello. There you go. I've made your life. Now you can die happy. And then, you know, where's my money? But yeah, so I guess, you know, if all this goes to pot, right, and I get no more animation work and the games don't work for me anymore, I guess I can always go to work as a, I guess, dual. I could do Dana Carvey impressions as well as Jim Carrey, right? So I can just really earn my keep doing impersonation, because they have a couple that are actually impersonators and not the real person. So it's nice to know that I have something to fall back on, right? That's what I'm trying to say.
Sir.
Terrific.
Yeah, okay, so that's nice, but we're snapping back way too freaking fast. Oh, you did? You've used it before? What'd you think? I mean, was it cool? Excuse me. So yeah, we have some family members on my wife's side. He's used it twice, and he got his wife Debbie Gibson, Deborah Gibson, and I guess she was like a real big fan in her youth, so she got a personalized video, and she loved it, right? And then he got a greeting from shoot, I forgot his name. He's the voice guy that's done like all the Batman vocal stuff for all the animated films and stuff like that. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. So they've used it a couple times. And I mean, it's a neat idea. I mean, especially in the era of COVID, because a lot of these celebrities that you see on there, especially like the sci-fi ones, I think their biggest form of revenue comes from going to all the conventions all over the United States and doing signatures and stuff like that. So I think they've had a large chunk of their revenue disappear on them. You spent $50 just for the dad from High School Musical to say good morning to my sister. Oh, that's great. I've never thought about having used that service for the reverse, right? Yeah. Oh, that cracks me up, man. That's too funny. I always think about it as like, you know, oh my God, I'm such a big fan of this person, but you used it to kind of go, oh, you hate this stuff? Here you go, chump on that. That's brilliant, man. That's hysterically brilliant. I love that. Oh, that's great. Oh man, never thought about that. That's such a funny way. I gotta go. See you guys next time. Have a nice day. Lucini, have fun with the cards, man. All right, man. Thanks for coming by again. We'll see you next time, hopefully. But yeah, that is funny as hell, man. That is absolutely funny as hell. There we go. I think this can be better.
Terrific.
Yeah, it's still a little snappy, but I may leave it for the time being and just
Terrific.
deal with it later. Or, you know what? Maybe I'm just going too far. Maybe I'm just overdoing this. It just can't quite tell exactly what's bugging me about it, but something's bugging me. So let me try and dial it down. Some Gary Oldman stories. Yeah, okay. Not tremendously so. The one Gary Oldman story I had was when I was working at Sony ImageWorks. I was a data wrangler because that was the only job I could get when I first moved to Hollywood. I couldn't get arrested as an animator, as they say. So my first job was just data management on Stuart Little 2. And the cool thing about working at ImageWorks was that it was literally across the street from what was originally known as the Desilu studio, right? Now it was the Sony Culver lot. I think it actually got sold to someone else. But one of his biggest claims to fame, obviously I Love Lucy shot there. It was the Desilu, right? I Love Lucy shot there, but more importantly, Star Trek actually shot there on the Desilu stage. And anyways, they had this really great cafeteria over there. And I used to go there, especially when I was on the night shift, which I mentioned before. When I got stuck on the night shift, I would go to the cafeteria and get my food like beforehand sometimes. But in the earlier days, when I was still working the regular day shift, I would frequently get lunch over there because the lunch was not badly priced for California, at least. And excuse me. And then yeah, so I got my food and I'm sitting down, I'm eating, and then I look up at the table right in front of me, and there is the one, the only, the legendary Gary Oldman. Which, by the way, I think the guy's absolutely amazing. He is one of my favorite actors. I think that if you're not careful as a director, I think he can choose scenery like nobody's business. But if he has a good director behind him, and he can just do absolutely amazing chameleon-like performances. But so he was there, and I don't remember. I mean, this would have been like 2000. So we're talking over 20 years ago. Eating a cafeteria. Well, I should say cafeteria. It's the commissary, right? It is the studio lot commissary, right? And but yeah, and then I was like, do I approach him? What do I say? And the only thing I could come up with was the fact that on Stuart Little we had 2 data storage drives, right? Which at the time were only like a couple terabytes in size. That just shows you how long ago. No, it might have been less than that. Might have been like 500 gig. Might have been a full terabyte. But I mean, think about 20 years later, you kind of go, that's like a USB memory stick at this point. But we would name the hard drives, and one of the 2 storage drives was actually named Oldman, right? So it's kind of like, I what am I gonna do? Walk up and kind of go, hey, we have a hard drive named after you, and then he kind of goes, that's great, security, come here, security. So that was my brush with greatness. That's pretty much as close as I got to having any kind of real interaction with Gary Oldman. Yeah. So yeah, nothing that exciting on that end, but had a few. I mean, if you're good at picking up faces, and I mean that was something that I was always really pretty good at, was recognizing the faces. So I would see a ton of celebrities come through there, but you don't really speak to them. You had a less cringy moment with Marty McFly. You remember? God, man, you do remember this stuff. That is true. That is true. I'm so glad that I just, didn't embarrass myself on that one, for sure.
Terrific.
All right. So, let's get the leg moving here now. Yeah, you obviously do, man. You obviously do. But yeah, I'm trying to remember if there's any fun other stories that I hadn't. I'm sure I've probably told them all before, anyways. But actually, I want to get like the foot rotate it downward just a little bit here. See if that's good.
Terrific.
Let's see. There was a fun thing. This was something. I had a buddy of mine, Ted Arlaskas.
Terrific.
I got a great Ted story I can tell some other time. I don't think he'd mind me telling because it was very funny. Ted Arlaskas was he was a high school friend of mine that moved out to Hollywood way before I did, and he was in the military and he went out to Hollywood and worked as an assistant director. Right, those are the guys that basically keep the wheels turning on a set. So he was out there for a long time, but he discovered this thing called Legendary Bingo, which I don't know if it still exists now because we're talking literally 20 years ago. But Legendary Bingo was held in West Hollywood by this rather famous drag queen that would host it, and she would like put on this amazing show, but she would always have celebrities, right, as her guests, right? And I guess one of the only ones that you guys might even remember or know is Eliza Dushku. She was there.
Terrific.
I'm trying to think because most of the stars that she would get would be like older, and you even Eliza might be one you kind of go, wait, who's that? Google her. I'll wait. I think she was like in the very end of Buffy. She came on, but she also had her own TV series called Dollhouse, and she was. I think she had another one too, but
Terrific.
actually, I don't really have a good story on that one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just cut that one off right there because I didn't really have much interaction. But I mean, that is something of if you do live in Hollywood, right? If you do not just spend your time in the touristy places, but you go to other places, you know, you have a good eye, you will see lots of celebrities for sure. But after nearly a dozen years of living there, well over a decade of living there, I got my fill. I got more than my fill of that. All right. So I got that one going. Oops. Let's back up. So 103, 107. 103, 107. So, yeah, I'm kind of animating slow just because I'm running my mouth too much. If I talk less, I animate more. Have you ever mistakenly been recognized as a celebrity? No. No one's ever approached me and said, hey, are you... No, that's never happened. I've gotten stared at. That happened a lot. And when I lived in Los Angeles and specifically Hollywood and worked in the industry, I would get a lot of stares, right? They kind of go, wait, do you think that's, and then, of course, I'd play it up, I put on the sunglasses, don't recognize me, but no, I've had friends, you guys have said, hey, I'm gonna never tell you look like that kind of thing, but no, I've never had a stranger come up and say, excuse me, are you Brad Pitt? Are you Arnold Schwarzenegger? I get that so much. We have the similar physique. I bet Gary Oldman was like, oh shit, that's Dana Carvey. What should I say to him? Back in 2000, it's much more likely you would have said, wait, that's Jim Carrey.
Terrific. Terrific.
He's not getting any work yet anymore, is he? Gary Oldman kind of going, yeah, I mean, Jim Carrey, isn't he done?
Terrific.
But nope, that did not happen.
Terrific.
Um,
Terrific.
I have a funny story. I have no association with, but it is a funny story. I think that I heard one time, which I think is so great because celebrities. I think just by the very nature, right? They kind of have that air that okay, I walk out in public and I get noticed, right? Tom Selleck, right? And you guys can like tell me to shut up if you remember this story, but Tom Selleck, who was the star of the amazingly classic, unlike the remake, Magnum PI. Sorry, I'm gonna bash it.
Sir.
So they would film the show actually in Hawaii, right? And he had a buddy of his, while they had some downtime, his buddy was going, hey, let's fly over to the main island, right? And Tom's like, you know what, I don't want to do it because every time I go over there, I get swamped, you know? And I mean, of course, you think Hawaii, especially in that era in the 80s, right? You think Hawaii, you think Magnum PI. And oh my God, Magnum's here, right? And people would run up to him, right? So he was reluctant, but his buddy was insistent. So they go, and his buddy like runs into a store. So Tom Selleck just sits down on just like on a outside bench, and this couple walks up to him with a camera, and he's like, "Yep, see." The camera. They walk up to Tom, and he starts reaching. Yeah, he says to say hello, right? And the couple says, "Hi, could you do us a favor?" And they hold the camera out. Could you take a photo of us for us? Could you, right? And he's like, sure. So he takes the camera, photographs them, and hands it to them, and they go, thank you, and walk away. No clue. So I think that was cool for him. It's kind of like a humbling experience, kind of going, you know, I'm not the god that I think I am. What up, my boob? Welcome back, man. Didn't miss much. Reverse doing a card this celebrity. There you go. Mm-hmm. Yep. But
Sir.
Terrific.
but yeah, I mean that's a freaky world,
Sir.
right? And I really do not miss that stuff that much at all. I mean, when I first moved there, it was really fun and I was definitely into it. But for me, I was much more interested in meeting my celebrities, which tended to be directors or, more importantly, visual effects. The visual effects people, especially the ones that had been around since the early Star Wars ILM days. And I got to meet some of those. Now, you know, and worked for some of them too. Worked under them. And absolutely, you know, that kind of stuff would freak me out. That would, you know, I would get more tongue-tied talking to a visual effects legend than I would ever get tongue-tied talking to just an actor or an actress. You know, that's just me. I mean, especially, I mean, this day and age, everything's just, you know, computers, right? And I mean, I'm guilty. I mean, I'm part of that computer world that does visual effects stuff. But I mean, you know, the men and women that did it back in the day with practical models. You talked about talking to a Toy Story visual artist, I think. Well, I did tell the Jeffrey Ratzenberg story, the guy that played Cliff Clavin on Cheers, who was in the Toy Story movies, who is the only, by the way, I love that. That's such a great trivia question. Jeffrey Ratzenberg, who played Cliff Clavin on Cheers, is the only artist to appear in all of the Pixar feature films. He's been pretty much all of them. He's the only actor to do that. So I'm not sure of. I did go out to. I did get to go to Pixar one time. I got an invite, and back when I think I talked about that. I was trying out that animation class, and he was my teacher, and Victor Navarro, who is absolutely an amazingly talented guy. He did, back when animation was a pain in the butt to do on computers, he did an amazing animated short film called Alien Song. If you look at it, you've probably seen it before. And he got scooped up by Pixar and went on to be a fantastic animator and ended up actually directing some of the short films as well. But yeah, I'm not sure if you're referencing that one or someone else. But that was fun, getting a tour of Pixar back in the day. Never worked there, never applied there. Like I said, I mentioned that before. I never applied to Pixar just because either way it panned out, I would be completely destroyed. Because if they said no, then I got rejected by Pixar, the ultimate dream place. If they said yes, then I'd be crapping myself going, every day, I'm not worthy. You know, I would freak out, kind of going, you know what, I can't do this. And I really didn't have a strong desire to move up to Northern California. There was that as well. So, yeah, not getting much animation work. Speaking of animation, not getting much done here. So, I'm sorry, at least in terms of, like, for anyone that doesn't want to listen to me banter, I know this sucks because I'm just talking too much and not actually making much headway. But sorry about that. All right. I get an email. I keep checking. When I get an email, I always check because I'm trying to see if it's Steam letting me know that they've approved the damn page so I can get the game process so I can get it out there. Hopefully in the next few days. All right. Oh, excuse me. All right, so how's the pandemic affected Triple Troubles? To be honest, it really hasn't. I've been very fortunate, by and large. Excuse me. Just because, I'm working from home, and when the pandemic hit, I had pretty much already gotten all the art assets, and music were the two areas that I had the most help in, right? Especially the art asset side, right? I mean, I've said it before. Daniel Thomas did all this amazing stuff. Whom, by the way, I'm going to bring him back in. I asked for his help again, and like I said, every time I contact him, he's like, "Yeah, I'm booked. How does May sound?" And because I asked him the end of last year, I asked him to maybe come on and do some help on the next upcoming project, and he said, "Yeah, I'm booked till March." So I just said, you know what, I need to get some stuff done before then. So let me get back to you. and I didn't. But then I was kind of reaching out to him again, saying, "Hey, could you come on?" And now he's saying May, and he said, if you're interested, tell me now. So I just said, you know what, fine, come May, I want your help, right? I don't even know what he's going to be doing. I don't know what stuff I'll already have done by some other people. But if nothing else, I will find something for him to do because his art is just so amazing. So when I have the money and when I have his time, I will find something for him to do. So, I mean, like I said, the whole point was that by the time COVID hit, I pretty much had all my stuff locked down. So the only bottleneck has just been me, I mean, since I'm tackling all the animation, game design, and the animation, and the programming, that's been the biggest time sink. And also a slight bit of making changes to the game, right, to make sure that it's playing the way it should, adjusting the way the game plays to make sure that it's fun from beginning to end, and making those slight adjustments, and bugs. The bug hunts has been the biggest thing. Next stream title, actually animating today. I actually mean it. Let's talk more work. For real animation this time. For real. Well, it's your fault. You guys are distracting me. You're being too sociable. That's all right. It just means that next time I come back, I'll have a lot more done. I can show you the progress, right? Yeah, you make me feel guilty now. But this is kind of also one of the reasons why, please, social distance. But I mean, this is kind of one of the reasons that I'm sort of like knocking it down. So we're not socializing. Yeah, this is me. I'm just going to unplug the microphone now. Sorry, hit it. I'm trying to unplug it, and I just hit it instead. I'll unplug it and just kind of, from this point out, just go. No. But yeah, this is definitely an explanation of why I've cut it down to an hour. So I can just hang out with you guys, show you the updates, and then go back to work for real. Because I am easily distracted. There you go. Got my boob. You're like 2 for 2 or 3 for 3 now? Uh-oh. Oh, see, I jinxed you. That was all my fault, man. Sorry about that. All right. So he does this. He goes, terrific. He does that bit. How's the real Penny doing? She's doing great. She will you get a refund. There you go. I will give you double your price back. As you guys that have been around lately, you know that right around 3 o'clock, so in another 10 minutes or so, right, she'll actually come up and lean against my door, and then I once I'm wrapping up, I'll open the door and let her do a little cameo where she comes in and just eats my face off for a brief moment. Yep. Not there yet, though. Yeah. My boob has this love-hate thing going on with Penny because I know, well, my boob loves, playing the game and Penny's all cute and friendly, but I know that my boob is not the biggest fan of dogs. But Penny, I think, hopefully is the exception. Except last time when she tried to eat my face off, and I think that he was like, yeah, better you than me. All right, so what I'm thinking here is,
Terrific. Good riddance.
so there's this big space between terrific, good riddance, right?
Good riddance.
So what I think I'll do is I'm just mentally thinking this out, is have him shift, because I can't just have a dead time here. I can't just have him go,
Terrific. Good riddance.
because I'm thinking for good riddance, he'll do something like a good riddance, right? He did one of these, good riddance to that, right? But I can't just let him sit idle this whole time. So what I think I might do is have him do like adjust in his seat. Terrific. And then lift his arm up and like put it, like on the armrest, like he's going to lift himself up or something like that. And then, so it's like, and then yeah, good riddance, right? So that's the thought process. Not all of them are gems. Sometimes I will start animating something and I will just go in, grab a whole bunch of keyframes and delete if I'm going in the wrong direction. Your brother got bit in the ass in one of our religious... That's not good. That's a double whammy. Jeez. Okay. Well, it's fun because my wife, she absolutely loves dogs, except German Shepherds, because she got bit as a young kid. So, yeah, that's the one she will not... Yeah, German Shepherds do nothing for her. But any other dog, she loves them. Alright, so let's get a little action on the belt here. Try and get a little... Oh, that's a bit much. Boom. Yeah, that's okay. You got bit in the knee. Ow. Jeez. I got, there's no way you can see it. I don't think it'll even show up, but... Oh, there you go. Yeah, you actually kind of see it there. Right? There's that line right there in the middle. That was, that was high school. I was over at a friend's house, and a bunch of my high school friends were all gathered together, and one of my friends and I were throwing the frisbee back and forth. Ooh, I can't say that word yet. Throwing the disc back and forth, and they had my buddy had a dog who like leapt up to go for the frisbee, missed, and just spliced my finger right open, and it was just like way deep, like that. And then is like my buddy's dad's looking at it, he's kind of going, yeah, that's gonna need stitches. I'm like, no, I don't do stitches, just give me a band-aid, because we were gearing up because we were going on our senior trip, right? It's like, I'm not gonna go get stitches while all my friends are going on their senior trips. I just put a band-aid on it, and didn't get infected. It's still there. But so yeah, I got that one doggy story. You were a fat kid at the time as well. Was that before you hit your growth spurt and went over 6 feet tall? All right. Scrunch this up a bit.
Terrific.
All right, so terrific. Yeah. Yep. But you've filled out since then. Now you're more proportional. Are you Dana Carvey height as well? I don't know. How tall is Dana Carvey? That's a good trivia question, right? Yeah, only 6'2". Well, that's pretty big. Let's try Dana Carvey height. He's 5'8". I am taller. By an inch. So, not towering, but I think he's a little more narrow. I'm a little wider in the face there. But yeah, with the glasses, yeah, I can see it. Well, isn't that special? I could do the church lady. Oh, who could it be? Could it be Satan? There you go. So, like I said, I can always go on to Cameo and do Dana Carvey impressions for people that want a cheap Dana Carvey. Good to know I have that to fall back on. Of course, I don't know, since I think your knowledge all comes from Master Disguise. That kind of scares me. Yeah, because, you probably have no context of that, do you? So, church chat. This is something that he did back, I guess, would have been the 80s. Oh, I got commercials. Crap. Yeah, forget it. Too long, didn't care. But yeah, he would do this whole bit, and he would dress up as a church lady, and he always have that same setup. He goes, "Oh, who could it be?" And he had like he was talking about Christmas, and he had like a board with like the little plastic letters, magnetic letters, and he was talking about Santa, right? And he's like, "Oh, who could it be that just travels from house to house and goes and enters everyone's house without their knowledge?" And she's like taking the letters, kind of moving them around, right? And then from Santa, he like moves it around and spells out, "Could it be Satan?" Yeah, good old Dana Carvey.
Terrific.
I don't know, what's he been doing lately? I'm not sure if he's done. I didn't look on IMDb. I didn't check him out, but I don't know if he just kind of sits back and cashes the royalty checks from SNL days or what. It makes sense now. Yeah, there was context to that. Yeah, that was his two famous lines were, "Could it be Satan?" and "Well, isn't that special?" Right? That was his two things. So there you go. Do I want to? You know what? Actually, I can mess with the pelvis this time. I think I can have him kind of lift up. We're all measuring up now. My boo wants to know. He's just going around the whole room now. Very short. Let's see.
Terrific.
Okay, and I'll start it here. Same as Dana Carvey. 5'8" is not short. 5'8" isn't too short. I mean, Tom Cruise is like 5'7". He just wears platform heels and stands on apple boxes, right? When he's making movies. There you go. Thanks, my boo. Thanks for coming to my defense, sir. It's just short to me. Oh, God. Thanks for the backhanded compliment. It reminds me, I'm sure I told the story before, but when you have 6 feet friends, okay. Yeah. It's like when I was working at Visual Effects House, and then a bunch of my coworkers and I would go out in the parking lot and throw the football just to like take a break. And there was one guy that was not, how do I put this politely? He was not athletically inclined. So he came out one time. I think he was actually going somewhere else, but he felt like he was getting left out, so he wanted to join in. And so, I mean, we're like on other ends of the parking lot, so we're really chucking this football back and forth, right? And it's just so funny. So the one guy that's like, okay, I want to do this. So he goes, hey, can I throw it, right? And he takes it and he throws it like that, right? He just, and it goes like halfway and bounces all the way over. And he goes, oh, that was bad, wasn't it? My buddy, without missing a beat, goes, no, that was a great throw for a girl. It's just like, oh, yeah. I was on the floor. Yeah, who are 6'5", and they are real giants. Jeez, man, you got like a whole family. Yeah, and what about your brothers, man? But just, and the guy saying it too, man. The guy that's saying it was like this amazing, talented artist, but he was also like a football star in high school, right? He was like the super handsome dude that could do anything. I hated him. It was just it's like fail at something, right? Either be really talented at visual effects, or be super athletic, or be super handsome. But it's being all of them, man. You're just a jerk, man. You're greedy. But he also had a good sense of humor to sit there and kind of go, yeah, that's a great throw for a girl. Oh, good times. Anyway, all right. So I'm gonna start the process of greedy. Totally greedy, man. Totally greedy. So then I'm gonna. how far can I get away with this? I'm going to see if maybe I can start the process. Almost an hour. Oh, you're right, man. It's getting to be that point. I do say an hour-ish. I do say 2 to 3-ish. So if I'm like in the middle of chatting or something like that, or I'm still trying to finish up something, some specific task, I'll go a little bit longer. But yeah, this is nowhere near. Oh, guess what? I just looked at the door. The shadow, there's now like, there used to be sunlight underneath the door. Now there's a shadow. Look at that. 3 minutes to 3. And she knows. I swear to God, that dog can tell time amazingly so. She just plopped herself down right in front of the door. That's just so cool. All right, so we got there. Let's see. Your own living clock. It is. You know, she's off sometimes, but generally she's shockingly accurate. Okay, maybe I can cheat this up more. I have to spread the fingers out here as well at this point. Yeah. Oops, I missed one. All right. So what I'm thinking here is that this hand's going to come up and hit the armrest and support the weight, so he can do that shift, right? And see if I can get the timing good here. For the any plans for the channel points? Plans for the channel points? You mean like on the Twitch? Not really. I mean, if you're talking about the Twitch stuff, no. I mean, I completely sort of oblivious to all that kind of thing. I mean, because I'm just doing these short little stints anyways. I don't really even try and do anything. You know, there's so much about Twitch that I'm basically just scratching the surface on it. I'm really bad at that. So I really know what, I mean, do I even I have channel points? And if I do, what do I do with them? Yeah, I don't, I have no clue, man. I have no clue. That's pathetic, but true. 1, 2, 3. All right. So did I actually move that one? Oh, I want to get it my other account, but I don't want to lose points. You could leave the other one active, right? You could just kind of switch between them, right? So when you want to come back for points, just log into that account. Oh, you know what? Here's what I could do. I could cheat the leg down and let the leg sort of absorb that weight. So 110, 113. Like that. So he's kind of, yeah, I think that'll sell it. Like he's rocking forward. Ooh, that's a bit much. If only transfer was a thing. Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing I can do to my end. Because it's one of the things that I literally just get the name of the person, you know, so I have no way of like matching. Unfortunately. Alright, so now I can do this, and then at this point, it's gonna be
Terrific.
yeah, okay. It's kind of a quick move, but I think it'll work in context. So then what I'd also do is probably bring this shoulder up. Whoa, which I have no keyframes for a long time, so let's fix that. Alright, so then here, you know, like cheat the arm up, and then here definitely get a bit more there.
Terrific.
Yeah, so he's going to do that. And at this point, I want the fingers to be way wide. Any games planned after Triple Troubles? Yeah, actually, I was hinting at it before. I've already started the process. I'm already working for that one. It's going to be a 3D adventure game, point-and-click adventure game, based off of another intellectual property that I got the rights to use, which I haven't revealed yet. Coming. I will eventually, but I haven't done it yet. But I've already started getting the characters. So because it's based on existing intellectual property, I've been sort of like really obsessed about making it right, you know. So in this case, I went to the trouble of modeling the characters myself, which is not the smartest move because I mean I'm a good modeler, but it takes me a long time to get it right. But I thought it was wiser for me, excuse me, to model the characters because if I if I farmed it out and let someone else model it, I would just nitpick it to death, right? Because I have it in my head, I know what I want it to be. So for the most part, the main characters I went ahead and modeled myself, but for texturing, no way. That's not something I do, right? I'm just I haven't seen art that you yourself made before. Well, there's a couple of my games. Well, I mean, for example, if you go back to my previous game, do it this way. Do Volley Village. There you go. Excuse me. Some of this stuff, like some of the characters were done by my guy Daniel, but I did not. That's Daniel. That's the Daniel Thomas. That's the one I was referencing earlier, saying that whenever I can get him, because he's always booked, and whenever I have the money to get him, I always bring him on board. I had a little bit of money, so I got him to do at least the characters for Volley Village, but at least in the other stuff, so like the models, there you go. So pretty much everything else you see here, like all the buildings and stuff, that was me. I did all the modeling for all that kind of stuff. You know, the little corn and the hay and that kind of thing. That's me. Let's see. Spiders of Mars, I did most of that because it was just an 8-day project. Except for the spider, I actually bought that off of the Unity store and just sort of retextured it. I animated Bob though. To go back to that, of course, that's my strong suit. The animation is the thing that I normally do. So, Save the Titanic, that was all me. Which is just such a goofy game, but no, I've talked about before. Still, even now, it still gets a massive amount of downloads. It's kind of embarrassing, but yeah. So this is all me. This was basically 100% me, because this was a project that I was just trying to do in a month, anyways, and it took me 5.5 weeks total. Right, and this was a decade. Well, no, at this point, I guess it is. It's almost 9 years ago that I made this one. So, there you go. So I'm off your website. No, not a cent. No. Making a game sounds really fun. It is, man. I absolutely love the hell out of it. It is so much work, and you completely underestimate how much time all this stuff will take. But I really do love it, man. That's, even though it does take for forever, you will rarely hear me complain, just because it is just so much fun to, I mean, because you get to make the game be what you want it to be, right? You know, and how do you even make money on website ads? Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to, you could stick like the Google ads on that, but I mean, my website has virtually no traffic, you know, and my point of having the website is just to advertise the games. So to me, when you see ads on a website, you know, especially if you're trying to sell something, that's kind of tacky, I think. So there's no reason for me to try and monetize it, because it would look bad and it would make me like 5 cents a year at most. How satisfying is it to play your game when it's finished? It is. There is sort of a strange disconnect though, because yeah, it's an online portfolio. Yeah, exactly. It's just an online portfolio of my games. That's all it is. Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's just to show the games that I've made and making. There's Triple Troubles. But, yeah, so that's all it's there for, is just if you want to reach out and get me. So, yeah, here's my Discord, right? I don't have Twitch on here. That's probably a smart move to put Twitch on here. But I do have the Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. So it's just a promotional tool. But yeah, Ricky, it's kind of a strange thing, because by the time you've released the game, depending on how long it took you, you've played the crap out of it. I mean, like, Triple Troubles, I can just destroy it. I mean, at least on the easy level. The arcade level still kicks my butt. You know, but that's the super challenging one. but I've gotten really good at it. So, I think what's more fun is that I get really judgmental about my own stuff, right? And what's funny is that I will have this really negative view on some of my previous titles, right? If I'm working on a new game, I'll kind of go, oh, this is so much better than everything else. But then I'll go back and look on a previous game. It's kind of like, wait, this doesn't suck as much as I thought it did. You know, it's weird. The image in my head kind of shifts so much, right? That I kind of get downbeat on it. But then I look back and it's like, you know what? It's actually not terrible, right? For the most part. But yeah, it really is gratifying. It's, obviously being able to make money off of it is ideal, but just the idea that people are playing the game is really exciting too. Let's see. Look at the outdated logos of the social media. Yeah, true, but you have no idea how much I literally lose in at least an hour and a half a day just trying to keep up with all the emails and all the company stuff that you have to deal with just to make sure that the wheels are turning, right? Stuff that you normally handle, you'd hand off to your your web department, right? Your online department, or like a producer, they can handle like the regular day-to-day stuff. But yeah, when you're a one-man wrecking crew, man, you lose so much time. So things like outdated social media icons, don't really care. I tried game development and it was pretty fun, but it's very hard and long. However, it's rewarding. Or an assistant. Yeah, assistant would be nice too. I'm hoping to get that. I'm hoping. I think I alluded to it before, but the goal for this upcoming game is I'm creating enough content that I'm going to approach publishers and hopefully get some backing from a publisher that I can bring on a proper crew, right, and do the game the way it's meant to be done, So it just because it'll be done faster and quite honestly better, right? I mean, you're only as good as your weakest link, and since I'm doing the whole thing, I am the weakest link, in at least in other areas, maybe aside from animation, but so that would be nice. Have you done fundraising before? I've never tried it before. I considered it for both this game, the triple game, and the next one, but in both cases, the owners, the IP holders, told me in no uncertain terms no, and I can't argue I can't argue why they said no, because their belief is the fact that these are famous names and they shouldn't have to like beg for cash, and more importantly, because there's been so many bad cases on things like Kickstarter and stuff like that where so many people have raised money and then just take the money and run, that it has like this negative connotation to it that they just don't want their name associated with it, because in most cases what's happening is that you're dealing with like a go-between, right? When you deal with intellectual property, you're usually not working specifically with the actual person that created the content. With Tribbles, that's true, but even with that, I still, there's Tribbles, but there's still CBS above that, right? So, my partners have to make sure that they do not upset CBS, right? So, and then for the other company as well, it's a third-party company, right, that is handling the use of the intellectual property, right? And for them, they don't want to piss off the actual original people, because then they may lose the business, right? At the end of the day, you got to protect yourself and your things. And I'm so scared of doing a Kickstarter that was not a success, right? So I would love to do one if I thought I had enough of a user base and a project that was truly worthy of it, right? Then I would love to do that. But I'm not there yet. I mean, my hat's off to the guys that are game designers that spend all their time on social media and are so good at building a following. I mean, if you look on just here on Twitch, right? If you actually try and find mine, under the science and technologies category, you have to scroll down like 40 times, right? There are tons of people above me that have massive amounts of followers, right? And I don't know exactly why. I don't know. I mean, I understand if it's like a beautiful woman that believes in wearing incredibly low-cut tops. That I understand why she automatically gets 500 viewers, right? Instantly as soon as she starts broadcasting. But for an average guy, some doofus like me, right? And you see that he's getting like, 2, 3, 400 watchers. And it's kind of like, damn, dude, what am I missing? But so yeah, my point is that I wouldn't want to do that unless I really believed that it was gonna have a successful low top. Oh, is that what I need? I need to wear like a low cut shirt, and then I'll boost my viewers. I'm not sure if that's a market I was shooting for, but any port in the storm, I guess. But yeah, I would only want to do a Kickstarter if I really felt in my heart of hearts that I knew that it was going to succeed. Because to me, the worst thing you could do is do a Kickstarter that fails, right? To me, that's just so demoralizing. And because it always stays there, it's not like you can just kind of pull it down and hide it. It's always going to be there. You're like, hey, look at my failure. So I've always been really skittish of that. And because everything I've been doing before has been mobile, right? Which is not conducive to a Kickstarter campaign anyways. But in the future, maybe. We'll see. And let's get him a little higher. Where are we at? Hey, look at this. You guys are just trying to intentionally see how long you can... You've been messaging each other trying to say, hey, how long can we make him stick around? Alright. I think... Oh, shoot. Did I just totally mess that up, didn't I? I had no keyframe here. That's not too bad. A little further down.
Terrific.
Yeah, it's a little... Busted. Busted. Yeah, there's a little. That's normally... This is not the amount of animation I do in a 1 hour time span. I'm usually much faster than this. I pride myself on usually banging out at least 3 seconds of animation a day, which may not sound like much, but as I've mentioned before, Pixar does on average 3 seconds a week. But I ain't Pixar. I ain't doing Pixar quality. But yep, I'm just gonna push ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and get back and make some real progress.
Terrific.
I don't know. Did I even have? I think I had some of that, right? And I just did the landing there. So yeah, I think that's gonna work. I'll see if he looks like he's supporting his weight or not. I may adjust that. But anyways, come Wednesday, I should have a lot more of him than what I just had here. But not complaining. Not complaining. I of course enjoy the conversation because I don't know about you guys, but I'm completely cooped up here. Terrific. There you go. What's the magic word of the day?
Terrific.
Oops.
Terrific.
There it is.
Terrific. Terrific.
There you go. That's the magic word of the day. Terrific. But no, I did. It's always great to have you guys hanging out and saying hello. So I do enjoy the conversation for sure. But I will go ahead and ramp down here and finish it. And then, of course, like I said, I'll be back on Wednesday. Excuse me, I won't be done with this, but hopefully I'll be much closer. And maybe I'll be closer also having the game out on Steam under the playtest. Hopefully, fingers crossed, get an email from them pretty soon saying that it's been reviewed and ready to go. So we'll see. But until then, I will go ahead and wrap it up here. But what do you think? Is it time for the Ripley cameo? What do you think? Should I do it? Let's see if she's there. Here we go. It's about that. Whoop. Oh yeah, I just saw a paw move. Uh-oh, I'm gonna get eaten alive here. You ready? Here we go. You ready? Ow. Oh, you just rammed your nose in the side of my head. Doesn't that hurt? Oh, jeez. And we end on a failure. All right. It's been great, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I always enjoy the conversation. I'll see if I can think up some more interesting stories so I'm not repeating the same ones over and over. But that'll do it for me. Guys, have yourself a fantastic Monday. What's left of it for some of you. I know some of you are getting later in the day or late evening at this point. But I will be back on Wednesday. I'm going to go out and throw the Frisbee. She's staring at me in the backyard for Penny, for real. See you on Wednesday. My boo. Great, man. I hope to see you back on Wednesday, of course. Until then, you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll keep banging away and have some, like, real progress to show you guys by Wednesday. All right, guys, take care of yourselves. I will see you on Wednesday. Adios.